officer on at the date was not too happy with Martin granting an interview outside the premises of the office of the special prosecutor. Martin actually challenged him that no, there was nothing wrong with him granting an interview and subsequently attending to the inquiry. And so there was some amount of altercation between verbal exchange between him and then the officer. Thereafter, Martin proceeded to attend to the inquiry committee. So while we were having discussions with the inquiry committee, in the course of that, they told Martin that he had actually obstructed an officer of the special prosecutor, and for that matter, he was going to be charged. Meanwhile, let me be quick to add that when the altercation took place, Martin was first to even request to make a complaint against the third officer. But we were told that the complaint center was not available to take our complaint. So Martin proceeded to the inquiry board or committee and presented a complaint before them. He also insisted that that matter should be dealt with even before we could attend to the substantive matter. So we were quite surprised that in the course of the proceedings, the officers went down, up and down, came back and told us that Martin was under arrest because they had gone to investigate the matter. It appears that Martin was rather the one at fault. And for that matter, they were charging him with the offense of obstructing an officer of the special prosecutor.
Right.
That's the charge. Yes.
Okay.
So eventually they said he was going to be admitted to bail in the tune of a landed property in his personal name. Can imagine, obstruction an officer is attracting a bail condition of landed property in the person's own name. In addition to that, he was to present one surety. So I quickly ride back to the office, which is just about 10 minutes drive, to pick a landed property, the document to his landed property, return with one surety, only to be told that Martin has been whisked away to an unspecified location. All attempts to know where Martin is as of now is not being fruitful.
Well, if you're just joining us here on Ghana Tonight, it's a continuous coverage of the arrest of Martin Kpebu by the special prosecutor and earlier, and also is being sent to, or is actually being held at a National Intelligence Bureau facility here in Accra. This was confirmed by our sources close to Martin Kpebu, and we got some updates some few minutes ago, which we're focusing on, staying the steam on to ensure that it's indeed what comes to pass eventually, beyond the assurances that we've gotten from our sources that there has been some sort of an intervention. But stay with us. Yes, let's get on to the telephone right now. Professor Aaron Mike Okwei is a former Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. He's joining us right now, and also himself a renowned private legal practitioner for that matter. Professor Aaron Mike Okwei, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's good to hear from you. It's been a while. Thank you so much for talking to us. Now,
yes, thank you.
Great. You've been following the sequence of events now with Martin Kpebu, who now we've confirmed he is being held at a National Intelligence Bureau facility because earlier he attended to the invitation of the special prosecutor to assist in investigations about the matter that the special prosecutor is investigating. He came out to grant an interview, and when he was going in, there appears to have been some altercation between him and the special prosecutor, an officer of the special prosecutor. And when he went in, he was then told that he has been arrested or is under arrest because of that particular incident. This has been roundly condemned. But for you, from where you sit, is there any legitimate reason whatsoever for Martin Kpebu to have been subjected to this?
It is most unfortunate. Most unfortunate And even more so, because we need a certain amount of stability, peace, decorum in this republic to go about our developmental matters. Very, very, very important. In the first place, the special prosecutor did not even have any business involving inviting Mr. Kwebu there. If Mr. Kwebu says you are corrupt, you can sue him, or can you refer him to another agency if you think there's a crime to look into that, because your business is to investigate corruption. If Mr. Kwebu being charged with corruption, he's definitely not being charged with corruption. Therefore, we mustn't just mix things up. Because I want peace in this country. One professor of political science, Huntington, wrote something very typical of the whole of Africa. He says, we are a Praetorian society, confusing everywhere. People are abusing power everywhere. We don't strengthen our institutions, we just proliferate institutions. Instead of making the Attorney General's Department very strong to prosecute, we create something else. Those who lived at the time of this well-known DPP, Jekidako, will know how strong the Attorney General's Department has been before. And I believe that this is because we are not creating strong institutions. We keep on just proliferating and adding upon. Then we get confused in the process. I think what is happening now is very unfortunate. And all well-meaning Ghanaians must really condemn it. You know, bail being used to show people where power lies is not a yesterday matter. We have known it since legal practice decades ago. Bail being manipulated in this regard. There is no principle of law anywhere in any civilized country whereby the bail that must be justified must have a landed property in the name of the person who is a suspect. Because does that mean that people who don't have landed property therefore can never get bail? What is this? Because these are matters of principle, issues of law, issues of human rights. Now, because they can't really get the man on what they wanted, they say that, oh, why did you give an interview? You want to suppress his freedom of speech? You cannot question his granting an interview. Let us know this in this republic. You cannot question any Ghanaians giving an interview with regard to any matter. For that matter, how do you now, a policeman, whoever is that person may have been, now accost Mr. Kwebu and start having an altercation with him? I believe that this matter is most unfortunate. I have been watching this program, 10 p.m. We don't really know whether the man has been released. If this arbitrariness is allowed to continue, it will be a fundamental violation of the rule of law in this country. I am very, very much in these processes. I watched things from the pre-independence days to today. And some of us just can't stand the disrespect for people's rights. It has been going on anyway for some time in this country since 7th of January. I think this should make us all realize that it's time it stopped. And in fact, I would advocate that we should stop this proliferation of institutions of investigation and strengthen the institutions that are already there. If that should happen, it will help our country.
There's no basis, you say, for Martin Kwebu to be detained as we speak.
I beg your pardon, sir.
There's no basis for Martin Kwebu's detention whatsoever.
There's no basis, actually. Because if you say you are investigating him for accusing you, is that part of corruption? But that is your mandate. And you must operate strictly within the parameters of your mandate. And if, therefore, you think he has maligned you, you have to sue him in the civil court or refer him to the NIB or some other investigation body, because you cannot be a judge in your own cause. That is also an affront to the rule of law and the fundamental principle of justice. You see, we should not confuse issues, because Ghana, we should be high up there. And I am particularly unhappy about some of these things which create what I've just described earlier, a Praetorian society. A Praetorian society collapses, and we don't want this country to collapse. It will not.